Cybersecurity. Malware. First, worm. A computer worm is a standalone malware computer program that replicates itself in order to spread to other computers. Worms live in your computer's memory and rely on security failures to spread itself to other computers across a network. They can quickly infect a large number of computers, consuming bandwidth and overloading a web server. Worms arrives via removable drives, network shares or other malware. It sends exploit packets to machines on the network and random targets on the internet. It drops a copy of itself and obfuscated autorun.inf file into the recycle bin of all available removable and network drives. It enumerates and tries to log into the available servers on the network via a dictionary attack and uses it to gather a list of user account. If successful, it drops a copy of itself. A victim endpoint executes two modules, a worm and a payload. The worm finds and attacks a vulnerable FTP server, uploads malware to server, finds client-side pages and infects them with malware references. Users browser to the infected web pages. As a result, the malware infects new victims. Worm transmits FTP credentials to C&C server. The Monero cryptocurrency is continuously mined on victim machines. Trojan Horse. Trojan Horse or Trojan is a type of malware that uses social engineering techniques to infect a computer and does malicious activities like stealing sensitive information, formatting disk, corrupting data, degrading system performance. The name Trojan derived from the ancient Greek wooden horse that the Greeks used to invade Troy stealthily. Trojan programs generally trick a user by using some form of social engineering and get downloaded and executed into the system. Starting with the download of the Trojan Horse version of the installation package in Step 1. The administrator runs the configure script in Step 2. While the configure script checks the system configuration as expected, it also attempts to connect to a web server operated by the attacker to grab a copy of another script, named Services, shown in Step 3. With a simple name like Services, it sounds pretty innocuous. Step 3 is a somewhat risky move for the attacker because the victim's machine will send out an HTTP request to the attacker's machine. It is conceivable, although highly unlikely, that an administrator might notice this request on the network and trace it down to a website controlled by the attacker. Still, this web request to download the Services script gives the attacker flexibility. Rather than bundling a set of fixed backdoor functionality into the installation package, the attacker can add new capabilities to the backdoor and load it on a website. Then, the attacker can just sit back and wait for a new set of victims to inadvertently install the updated functionality of the backdoor. After downloading the Services script, the configure script executes it. In Step 4, the Services script, in turn, creates a small amount of C code for a backdoor, which it compiles and executes. This little compiled C program is really a simple backdoor, which starts running in Step 5. The backdoor then makes a connection across the network to the attacker's own machine. In Step 6, the backdoor polls the attacker's system on TCP port 1963 to retrieve a single character indicating what the backdoor should do. This request for a command is sent every few minutes. The backdoor responds to 3 possible control characters. The A character indicates that the backdoor program should stop running. The D character tells the backdoor program to create a shell and shovel this shell to the attacker. It uses the same shell shoveling technique. The M character tells the backdoor tool to sleep for 1 hour and then poll for another control character. After the attacker finishes executing commands on the victim, the shell is terminated and the backdoor's polling for A, D, or M commands continues. At a later time, the attacker can fire up the shell shoveler again and access the system.
Caution. A virus has been detected.